Hello. So I'm going to talk to you about time management, which is, yeah, I know, it's entertaining. Most people who know me, Haley Jo Lambert, would not probably pick time management. Oh, she is a master of time management. That probably wouldn't be the first thing you'd think of, but that's okay. I have some really good things to say, okay? So stay with me. I do want to talk about time management, but first, I want to talk about funerals. Funerals. I know how this sounds, okay? But I kind of love funerals. I just find them fascinating. And I know we're supposed to mourn with those who mourn and grieve with others and cry. And I do all those things. I promise. I am appropriate most of the time. But I love funerals. There's just nothing else like them. They're fascinating. There's such a weird energy in the room of a beginning and ending of seasons all at the same time. And especially if you're someone who believes that death is really just the beginning of the best. You feel that in the room. You feel this pull of death and beginning of life. And it's kind of cool. Most of us spend our days, at least I do, just beating at the wind, trying to somehow have some control over life, over our circumstances, our relationships, and the direction our life goes. We want control, and yet at a funeral, there's no control. There's such a lack of control on the person being dead. Basically, what you have is the people that show up. And essentially at a funeral, we boil a person's life down. We distill their life down to their works, the things they did. And after all the breaths have been breathed that are going to breathe, it seems like the lives that carry on with the most force are the ones that gave themselves away. And you get to hear the most amazing things at a funeral. You get to hear, especially at a humble person's funeral, how they showed up for someone else in secret. No one else knew about it. And you get to hear about these works done in secret. You hear how they showed up and comforted someone who is in need, how they loved, how they parented, how they worshiped, how they were generous, and no one ever knew about it. It's such an edifying and encouraging time of celebrating someone's life. And sometimes you hear things that are not as encouraging. But what you have left is the mark that's left on other people. That's what's remembered. And so that being said, I'm going to talk about time management. I actually have learned loads about time management. So at least if you have like severe ADD and you're a young mom, I probably could offer you some ideas. There are many more qualified people than myself who could talk about time management, but I've learned a lot about keeping a schedule and how I do my to-do lists every day, and a form I actually use every single day to keep me on track, how to plan for meals and budgeting. And I work so hard on all of things like that come easy for some people. They don't come easy for me. And I would love to talk about all that stuff, but today I just want to talk about your funeral. I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter sometimes how we plan, which method we pick to manage our time, when God can mess with your time anyway. That's been my experience. Remember the story in the Bible where Jesus turns the water into wine at the wedding of Cana. He was proving in that sign that he is the Lord over time. He can mess with your time. I don't know how. I'm not God. I am definitely not Jesus Christ, but God can do that kind of thing. So how do you do time management when so much of life is out of our control? And that brings me to my main point, which is whichever method you use, begin with your end in mind. I do have some really specific things that I can offer to you. 3 specific things. At the risk of sounding purely ethereal, I have practical ideas. For those of you who follow Jesus, you can implement these things to add meaning to those breaths that you get to breathe every day, how you manage your time. The first one is, whatever your gifting is, make time for it every day. Plan for it. So for example, I have the gift of encouragement. I can encourage people. And my proof is that some of you I'm encouraging right now, even though I'm talking about your impending death eventually. Maybe that's not proof for you, but I do have the gift of encouragement. And so I use that. I plan it. I put it on my to-do list every day to encourage 2 people. Now, if I don't happen to get to it, that doesn't mean I'm going to hang my head in shame and feel all guilty, but I keep it in the forefront of my mind to encourage 2 people every day. And that gives meaning to every day of my life. Every day, I get to partner with the Spirit of God in bringing life and bringing God's kingdom to earth and other people by looking for opportunities to share love and to share Christ with people every day in an encouraging way. So that's number 1. But maybe you have a different gift. Use your gifts. God gave you, and only you, a specific, unique gifting with a specific group of people in your life to work with. And you are the only one who can do the works that are prepared for you to do. That God wants to partner with you and bring meaning to your days. Number 2, let God lead you in your day by spending time with Him first thing in the morning, or at least the closest first thing as you can. Not in like a religious way, but by all means, if you have to be religious about it to make it happen, be religious about it. I like action first, feelings second. Duh. That's like wisdom 101. It's growing up 101. We don't just live according to our feelings. Spend time with God. Learn to listen and wait on Him. Don't talk, just listen and wait. Meditate on the scriptures. Meditate on God and wait and listen for Him to lead you. He will breathe fresh life into every day that you have. He has something to say to you about everything in your day. And lastly, pray throughout the day. Prayer, we're supposed to pray without ceasing, and that sounds so complicated and difficult, but really it's just being thankful. Walk in thankfulness. It's as easy as that. You can thank God every day for all the little things. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for coffee. Thank you that even though my house is messier than it's ever been and all my friends decided to show up on this day and they might be judging me, I get to show them that I can still love them and serve them, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to pretend like I'm perfect. See, you can take any circumstance and turn it into an amazing gift. Walk in thankfulness, and that will give meaning to your days. And that's really all I have. My point is, beginning your day, whatever time management you pick, begin your day with your end in mind. And that will ensure that you have a great funeral, all while trying to manage your time. And by the way, time management can either be about control or it can be about stewardship. And God is the only one who knows your heart. They can look the same on the outside. You see someone managing their time. God knows if you're trying to be God and control your life, or if you're trying to be a good steward of the gift. But He is the Lord of time. I hope this encourages you today. And if you're needing a little more direction, or if this blog touched on something that is knocking on your heart, basically if you need more ministry, you can comment below on the video. You can contact us on email us at fconline.tv. You can comment on this blog on Facebook. You can message our church with prayer requests, ministry requests, or praises. We want to hear from you, ladies. So thank you for watching. I hope that this helped you take a deep breath, breathe in God, and enjoy your day.